Parents, take some time to listen to this next conversation we're having. It's an in-depth one about improving student performance. KXAN Educates is part of our partnership with E3 Alliance. And so this morning we're looking into the challenge school districts are facing with students moving from one school to another. Khotan Shahbazi-Harmon is here with the E3 Alliance to give us an update on what this means. Not only what the school districts are facing, Khotan, but really what parents, I think, and children are facing when they have to move in the middle of the year?
Absolutely. Yeah. So mobility is defined in many different ways. The one that we're interested in today is what happens when students start school at the beginning of the year, but they're not there at the end. In Central Texas, we have about 30,000 students who start the school year, but then they don't end in the same school.
Oh, wow.
And of them, Sally, 20,000 qualify as low income. And so that's a bit challenging. So think back, Sally, to when you were going from middle school to high school, how challenging that was. Very tough, because you're leaving a group of friends that you know, a curriculum that you understand, adults that you've developed relationships with, and all of a sudden you're in a new environment.
And you have to start all over again.
You have to start all over again. And people actually move for many different reasons. It could be that parents are looking for cheaper rent during the year, or families are disrupted by divorce. It doesn't always have to be negative. Sometimes they're buying a bigger home, or they want to go to a different school. What we would like to remind everyone is that it's quite disruptive to the education attainments of the students.
And maybe disruptive as well to the school district as well, right? Tell me a little bit about how that impacts them.
Oh my goodness, just think about how you're planning for your family for the year, right? And schools do very similarly. They have a certain amount of resources, they have a certain amount of teachers. Some of these students coming in require certain assistance, and all school districts want to serve their students. And if they have an inflow of hundreds or thousands of students coming in, it really is quite disruptive to their planning and their services.
You do a lot of research, and when you see the 30,000 mark, how surprised were you at that? I mean, just hearing that from you, I'm thinking 30,000 is such a big number.
You know, the majority of students actually stay in their school. We're talking about 10%. And that 10% translates to 30,000. Within the education pipeline, if you look at pre-K and high school, that's where we have the highest number of within-year mobility. Now the challenge is, Sally, because pre-K, we know, you and I have talked about this so much. Little ones. If they actually, students who master pre-K, they are actually 3 times more likely to be school ready. So if they're not in school, they cannot learn. And also high school, the challenge is around these courses become credit bearing. So it has to do with their graduation plan, and it could affect their college and career readiness.
It's all about starting at a very early age in pre-K, and the focus is making sure people are able to have access to pre-K.
That's right.
What else, Khotan, can we do, can parents do if our children are struggling to cope with this kind of thing?
Actually, if at all possible, please don't move during the year. And if you have to, please look for attendance zones, which actually includes you staying within your current school. And if you have to move, please prepare and make sure that you have all of the right files and information for your students so that the transition is easier for them in the new school.
And maybe prepare by just going to our website at KXAN.com. We have a link to all of the information you have from E3 Alliance, and that kind of gives you a better idea of maybe what you're up against and maybe what you can and cannot do. Thank you so much for your help.
Thank you, Sally.